Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. We're getting up here, Jeff.
We're almost at 50.
I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I am Jeff Mayo.
And Jeff, I am a California boy now.
Oh, yeah. That's where we are, right?
Yeah, right. I
teleported
moved your
house.
Yep, I just loved it so much that I just packed up my house and drove it to California.
With Alex in it.
Yep, sorry, Alex.
They have Grouchos in California, right?
Do not think they have Grouchos in California.
He'll be fine.
I think they have much better food than that in California. At least from my experience.
You mean something's better than Grouchos?
I had In-N-Out. I tell you, I did have In-N-Out, and I have to make a confession, Jeff. The burger was better than Cookout. I know, but I do think that Cookout overall is still higher rated for me because you can pay like $5 and get a quesadilla, a burger, chicken nuggets for you can get whatever you want. In-N-Out, you get a really good burger and then these wimpy little fries, and that's it.
No, I can believe that. I mean, I like the Cookout burger, but not like an excellent burger.
No, Cookout is just the fact that I can throw you $5 and get way too much food, and that's why Cookout.
And it being pretty good, yeah.
Yes, and milkshakes that are just cups of ice cream.
Yes.
I appreciate Cookout a lot. No, California was really cool. Lots of video game stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Like GDC was going on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
It was so weird to like walk around San Francisco and think about like how many different people in this city I know and I follow like online with that. And then when I thought about, oh wait, GDC's going on, so like Naughty Dog's here. Like all these game developers here. Jason Schreier was there. Bloodworth was there. There's so many people there. It's so crazy to like walk around that city and just see all the things that people talk about all the time. It's just wild. It was pretty cool, especially from some random dude from South Carolina.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I'm happy to be back so that I can do this with you.
Yeah, happy you're back.
Yeah. It feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Jeff, have you been playing games?
I have.
You had 2 weeks to do it, so.
I did. I didn't play as much as you were thinking 2 weeks, but when do we have time to actually play games?
I usually don't.
Yeah. So this real quick, played a little bit of Mario for the first time in a while. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess by a little bit, I don't know. My in-game clock thing, or on the Switch, went from 35 or more to 45 and more. So I guess I played a good bit.
Okay. I've still played like 65 of Mario, and I have like 200 less moons than you.
Yeah, I know getting close to 200 moons, so I'm close to 800. So I'm close to getting all the moons that you can, get normally in the game.
Yeah. So how does I've heard you refer to that? So how do those last ones work? Like,
you buy them from the shops. You can just continually buy them to get to the 1,000. Guess something happens then.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just the way it is, apparently.
Game's still amazing.
Yeah, of course it is.
Love that game. I played some on the plane too, just because Mario is just like, I think Odyssey is going to be a game that I just pick away at for a long time. Probably like throughout this year until I finally catch up. Like, I have a feeling I'm going to keep picking away. I probably won't get all the moons, but I have a feeling I'll get close just because it's so much fun to just jump in there and go.
Yeah. At this point, I might as well try to go for them all.
Yeah, you're close enough. I think I'm at like 600. I think I just like crossed 600.
Yeah, the only worlds I gotta go into, like I'm just going through them in order, trying to get all the moons. Some ones I only don't have all of them, just like one or two that are just some of the more difficult challenges. Like, I'll get to those later.
Have you tried Darker Side at all yet?
No.
I haven't either.
I was gonna say that for last.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
I've heard it's very hard.
Yeah. So yeah, the only world or kingdoms I gotta go through are the post-game ones. So
there you go.
That's all I gotta do. Anything else? Yes. Viewers don't know, but Dari, the day after we recorded the last podcast 2 weeks ago, well, even that night I was sick.
Yes.
So I was able to hang out with you guys for St. Patty's Day. It's like
so sad he wasn't able to wear green and drink way too much.
Oh yeah, because I do that. But I was thinking, I was like, I feel like just playing a nice game on my Switch. Like, what do I have? I don't really have anything in particular. It's like, I'm finally going to get Shantae hat.
It's time. It's finally time.
Especially after we're talking about with the Smash thing. Like, I just want to play
we've talked about playing Shantae for a long time. So
I finally did it.
I
beat the game.
How was it, Jeff?
It is excellent. Yeah. It's an excellent game.
2D platformer type thing. Like,
yeah.
what I really honestly actually don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's 2D platformer, but is it purely platforming, or are you like attacking people?
Oh yeah, you're definitely attacking.
Okay.
Using her hair to whip things, or you're using magic. You have like a whole bunch of transformation. You turn to animals, like turn into a monkey, you turn into an elephant, you turn into a harpy, a mermaid.
That's cool.
A whole bunch of things, and part of it for the transformation is figuring out what you're. I mean, they're not that hard to usually figure it out, but what transformation you need to do, what thing.
Yeah. And
what I kind of like, their worlds or sections or whatever, they're not that many. They're probably less than 10, but you go back through them a lot. And I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way, because when you go for it the first time, there's some stuff in there. It's like, how do I do that? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That kind of feeling. Like, you get the transformation, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like the things build off of each other.
Yeah, and makes it enjoyable to go play that through the world, especially since, I guess, I don't know, it's partly, I don't know why, but when we went back to replay the worlds, they were significantly easier to get through and everything, to go through them. Like, they took me longer definitely the first time. I'm not really sure why. I don't think it really changed that much. Though some transformations do make it easier once you unlock them.
Yeah.
But that just made it easier, so I'm not going through, slogging through worlds or whatever.
Right.
Plus, you don't have to, like, when you get a collectible, go back and get a collectible or power, you don't have to beat the level to keep it. So you just go in there and then you teleport out.
How is the writing? I've heard it's like kind of funny and charming.
Yeah, funny and charming. The story is pretty basic, like you expect in something, but very charming characters and everything. I really enjoyed the character designs and just the art style in general. Yeah. Yeah, and they only tell some stuff. I didn't completely get the character thing between them. I mean, it's fine.
So this was like the second game, or this was like into the series.
Yeah,
Okay.
The first game came out on the Game Boy, color.
Jeez.
So yeah, like over 15 years ago or something. So yeah.
So this is a new game, not a port.
Yes, it's the newest game at least. I don't know if it's technically. I don't think it came out on the Switch necessarily.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but it's the newest one. Okay.
Yeah.
Where does this put your Smash Bros. Wants for Shantae? Yes. Did this increase them a lot?
Yes. I know in my heart that if there was one indie rep, it'd be Shovel Knight, but I'd prefer Shantae. I like her moveset more.
Does seem like just a little bit. I know it seems like there's a lot of things you could do with the hair and the transformations.
There is a lot. I mean, the moveset writes itself.
Right.
Like it'd be so easy, and yeah.
We're in a new age, Jeff. Why not both? Have two indie reps. Who cares?
Yeah.
Screw the rules. There are no rules. Goku and Smash. See, Jeff? It's just there are no rules. No. It doesn't matter.
But I think you would enjoy this game.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say don't want to build up it's the perfect game like on Celeste levels or anything, but very solid 8 to 8.5 I'd say rating. Very good, worth the $20 or whatever. Yeah. Finished it in over 8 hours. Yeah. And also what's good, I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know if we talked about it, but when you order stuff on the eShop now, you get little coins.
Yeah, I did see that.
That add up decently fast, it looks like. I already got a couple bucks.
Yeah, I think it was already just buying Celeste. It was 25, or it was 25 cents or something, or $1. I don't know. I forgot what it was.
I think it ended up being 2%, so you may have gotten $2 already or something.
Or maybe $2. I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
Hey, something like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say I also got this for that. Get ready for this. I had some leftover currency on there. It's I'll just get this as well. I got Owlboy.
Oh, okay.
I have not started it yet, but that's gonna. Cool. I just like that. Yeah, I just like that those indie smaller normally been 2D platforms just to have.
Right, and you can just go through them fast and complete them, and you feel nice because
So I have that. So
yeah. Speaking of Celeste, are you done?
Yeah.
I did play Celeste a little bit on the plane ride out to California. And I don't have too much to say. And if you want to hear full Celeste impressions, a few episodes back, I don't even remember how many Jeff talked about it. Yeah. But I'm definitely really enjoying it. I mean, it's like everyone said, it's definitely that kind of Super Meat Boy-ish platformer. I mean, definitely not the same. That it's definitely very different, and probably not quite as hard as Super Meat Boy, at least not yet. But it's definitely it's
way dark.
I know. Oh, I've already died like hundreds and hundreds of times. It was insane when I went back to the main menu. I'm like, holy crap! That's how many times I died.
It's so
it doesn't seem right.
Especially since, and I mentioned this when I talked about like when you die, you're back in an instant.
Which if
there were
that would make
times,
or break
that would make the game significantly worse.
I would have stopped playing this game already if it had like load times of any length.
But it's instant, and the respawn points I think are pretty generous or well done.
And the checkpoints are good. So it's not like I'm having to trudge through all this stuff that I know how to do or whatever just to get to the one part where I'm trying. It's like, no, it brings you back. Every challenge is kind of like
its own little room.
Yeah, contained to the room.
Yeah, as you get later on, there'll be longer rooms and stuff.
Right.
But, it's not the whole thing. Pretty much the same thing.
It's never like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And all the times, like when I die, it's always because like I haven't figured this out yet. Like it's never like cheap stuff or just like really dumb. It's definitely
either that or you did an input wrong or
right. And I think like it's such a simple thing, but the wall climbing mechanic is really cool. And the 2 dashes, and you having to like think about like when to use your dash and when not to, and it's like really just simple but really interesting. And art style I'm really liking. Mm-hmm. Characters seem cool so far. I mean, I'm way too early in, but so far I see why people are liking it so much. I'm wondering if I'm going to like it as much as everyone else. Because it hasn't like completely grabbed me the way people talk about it, but I have a feeling it will.
I feel like I can't remember what exactly hit me. You told me where you are. I feel like it might not be until a little later where it completely hits you,
right?
Or that's the point for.
And this might be a game I pick up and put down, just because like it's that type of game that you can just play for a little bit here, kind of like I'm doing with Mario, and it's a very good Switch game. Like I would not want to play this anywhere else but the Switch for sure.
Yep. Same thing with Shantae. It's a perfect game for Switch. It runs perfectly and looks
right
beautiful.
Right at home. Yeah. There. Well, cool. Yeah. Jeff, let's get into the news. News jingle.
Jingle, jangle, Darby.
It's been a while, Jeff.
It has.
It's only been 2 weeks, but gosh, it feels like so much longer. This is weird.
Barry, I want to start with some good news.
Yes.
This comes from Brian Barnett from IGN. The long-running battle between Ubisoft and Vivendi has finally come to an end, with Vivendi agreeing to sell its entire stake in Ubisoft.
Good job, Ubisoft.
Yep. The agreement stipulates Vivendi will sell all of its shares in Ubisoft, which amounts to 27.3% Ubisoft share capital. Ubisoft will buy back all shares owned by Vivendi, and Vivendi agrees not to acquire any shares in Ubisoft for the next 5 years. The Ontario Teachers Pension Plan and Chinese social media and game development giant Tencent will also enter as long-term investors in Ubisoft as part of the transaction. Tencent and Ubisoft have signed a strategic partnership agreement to expand Ubisoft reach in China moving forward. According to Ubisoft, Tencent will operate, publish, and promote several of Ubisoft's most successful titles on PC and mobile in the Chinese market. So good news for Ubisoft in general.
Yeah, the only thing here is like obviously the Vivendi thing, the fact that it seems like at least for the moment they finally like actually fought them off, which, back when I remember however many years ago, it was like around 3 years ago now at this point, right? Or did they say? I don't remember. It was a while ago that this started happening. It seemed like Ubisoft was not going to be able to fight this off. So it's crazy that they did. At the same time, the one thing that kind of worries me here is I'm starting to see Tencent everywhere.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was like, yay, Vivendi's not going to be able to hostily take them over. And then like right at the bottom of the article, oh yeah, Tencent's buying. Like, Tencent has a bunch of Ubisoft. That's slightly concerning to me.
Yeah.
Because Tencent, owns, PUBG and stuff at this point. It's like Tencent, just China in general, with entertainment in general, is just getting bigger and bigger, and Tencent's kind of this gigantic, entity. And so, it almost just seems like Ubisoft could fall right out of one company's hands into another.
But Dari, you're missing the bigger picture here. Rabbids in PUBG.
Make it happen. It's happening. Confirmed. You heard it here first.
I could see someone doing a Rabbids or cartoony battle royale game.
Having rabbit skins. Everyone just wearing rabbit hats in PUBG. Yeah. Why not? You could just go crazy with it. I don't know. This, it might not be anything. It's just a little weird to me to hear.
No,
that,
I hear you. Let's just be happy they fought off Vivendi at the moment.
The current battle they won. So
yes.
Just take it step by step.
Yep, and Ubisoft been killing it. Far Cry is out, and as far as I've seen, is reviewed very well.
Yep, I think it seems to be selling pretty well from just the.
I haven't seen any sales things. So I saw a really good Steam thing.
Maybe. It was like at least when it first came out, it was like the #1 game on Amazon. I think it was like the top listing.
Okay. But, yeah, it wasn't the top gaming thing because nothing will eclipse PlayStation Network cards.
Yeah, which, as I know they're talking about in Easy Allies.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you're buying digital card, you're buying cards with digital money on them with digital money. You're using a credit card to buy it. Are there just that many people buying gift cards for gifts, or is it I don't know. It's weird to me.
I don't know.
I guess there's just a lot of kids out there and moms that don't know what to buy for them, so they're like, "Here's this PlayStation card."
Yeah.
It's strange.
Well, the only sales thing I have at the moment for Far Cry 5 is they have sold around 350,000 copies on Steam in 3 days.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No.
Like you're saying?
I want it. I want to play it. It's definitely been tempting. If I was at if I was at a less busy time in life, I probably would have gotten it. But
a way out's out now.
And
God of War is in a couple weeks.
And my backlog's so big, I shouldn't be buying anything new. I should restrict myself to God of War only.
But we got this podcast there. We got to talk about something.
I know.
At least that's what we tell ourselves. That's our excuse.
We just talk about, come to Nerds at Large for your year-old gaming news. Yeah. As Darby goes through his backlog. If I'm ever even able to do that. But congratulations, Ubisoft. I'm glad at least that battle has been over.
Now release that Mario plus Rabbids DLC, please.
Did they not do a release date for that?
Nope. We all saw that first trailer. Surprised we didn't get in the last Direct.
Yeah.
I want it.
Donkey King.
I want Donkey King. Okay, moving on. This comes from Jordan Alleman from IGN. Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata has opened a new studio to work on AAA games, Luminous Productions. Luminous is a new global studio within Square Enix with its offices based in Tokyo. The studio aims to utilize innovative technology and creativity to change the future of gaming and entertainment. While it's not clear exactly what Luminous has been created to achieve for Square Enix, we can learn more from its numerous job listings. On the Luminous website, listings say that the company is looking for talent to work on AAA class games. Our 3D character artist listing mentions working on human, monsters, and asset creations of weapons and small items, which implies that the new studio won't be straying too far from Final Fantasy's subject matter.
Yeah.
So, probably Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I mean, I guess do you know how they are all the Final Fantasy games usually made by the same arm of Square Enix? Would this be different? I guess it's the director and it's a bunch of the same people will probably be on it.
It's not really hard to tell because there's been such a gap between Final Fantasies since 10,
right.
And the two of them were MMOs.
Yeah, and 15 was worked on forever.
Yeah,
and it was previously a different game entirely. So yeah, it could be. I would say it's either Final Fantasy or it's just going to be another JRPG type deal, just being a Japanese Square Enix thing. But cool. I mean, more games, more things coming out of Square Enix. Japan, hopefully.
That's what I'm trying to think.
Forever.
You gotta imagine they're working on Final Fantasy 16, and I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I don't know the exact layout of Square Enix and who's all their studios and all that stuff. So, but I guess Tabata and whatever studio he's in is probably going to be the one you'd think to work on it.
I'm fine with
yeah.
And I think I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Final Fantasy 16 is probably just now really getting made because they've been supporting 15 for so long. It wouldn't surprise me if this is the first step towards Final Fantasy 16. Some people are talking about is Final Fantasy 16 going to come in 2020 or 2020? I'm like, no.
What makes you think that?
No.
The last regular Final Fantasy we got before 15 was 13.
Yeah, I mean, because there's the 13 trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last one of the trilogy came out, but
that's a whole different situation and everything.
No, I think Final Fantasy 16 is nothing but some concepts right now.
Yeah. Plus, as far as like 16, it doesn't need to come out as fast as far as Final Fantasy goes because we got 7 remake.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's coming out at like any time.
And Kingdom Hearts. I mean, it's not like Final Fantasy, but it's it's that type of thing from Square Enix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say 16 is all.
I would hope 7 remake comes out first.
We'll see, Jeff. I wouldn't be convinced. We'll see. I think they're both probably 7 remakes, probably not too far ahead of it.
Yeah, they finally just made us something outside that footage we saw.
Yeah. Oh crap! We need to work.
Yeah. Nomura's like, or people telling Nomura, "Hey, we need your help on 7 remakes." Like, I get Kingdom Hearts.
They finally left the train station in Midgard. They've rounded the corner. They made the next corner. It only took them 3 years to do it.
Yes,
it's fine.
Just a millennia to go, Darby. Darby, you want some good Square Enix news?
Sure, Jeff.
I will, depending on your perspective. This comes from Joe Scravels from IGN. Yep. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age will be released for PS4 and Steam on September 4th in North America and Europe. However, the planned Nintendo Switch version will not be released this year, and the 3DS version released in Japan will not be released in the West at all. The localized version of the gigantic JRPG comes with a number of additions and improvements, including voiced English dialogue, a hard mode option, overhauled menus, a faster dash to speed up exploration, and a first-person camera mode. This will be the first time a mainline Dragon Quest game will be released or be available on PC in the West. In a statement, Square Enix told IGN, our aim with Dragon Quest XI and the Dragon Quest brand is to grow the audience in the West. From a business point of view, it makes strategic sense to release the 3DS version in Japan in 2017. For the West in 2018, it made the most sense to focus on the PS4 and PC or Steam platforms. At a Dragon Quest event, a Square Enix PR representative told IGN that the Switch version would definitely not be released in 2018 and could end up being released much later.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because the NX was revealed with this game. Yeah. Like, this was technically the first game that was
announced for the Switch.
And just the fact that the game's been out in Japan for like a year, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be out by a year by the time this comes around. Which is not, as far as like the in between the Japan and coming out of the West, this is not abnormal for Dragon Quest, unfortunately.
And I'm sure they were focusing on the PlayStation version and stuff, and changes have to be made for the Switch version. I had it in my head that it was either going to be simultaneous with the Switch or the Switch would be not too long after.
I was thinking potentially since coming out later, maybe they would just be able to release the Switch version alongside this and just release in Japan then, like the Switch being a worldwide. That
would have made sense to me, yeah.
But and even with all this stuff, who knows? What Dragon Quest release stuff is weird. Who knows? It might be much later, like compared for this, it coming out in Japan, and then we get it later than that for some reason.
Yep. I imagine that you would have waited for the Switch version, but I imagine at this point you probably won't.
Honestly, I was going back and forth even if it came out the same day, which one to get. Just because I wasn't really sure like how this would run on the Switch compared to PS4, but obviously this seals it. Like which one I'm getting. I'm getting this day one.
I mean, is the open world like that big of a thing to where you think it wouldn't be able to run on the Switch that well?
I think it'd be able to run the Switch. It'd just be a little downgrade.
I mean, it'd be like Zelda, how it like loses frame rate and stuff when you're like.
I mean, that wouldn't have been the biggest deal for me since this is turn based, and I play Xenoblade 2 mainly on handheld, so obviously I'm not the biggest stickler for the previous graphics and everything. So
yeah, I mean, if Zelda's in the indication, as long as you don't make tall grass, you're fine.
Yeah. But I guess also a weird thing here is no 3DS version at all.
Yeah, that is strange. But I mean,
3DS is on the way out, and I get it.
It kind of makes sense. I mean, because in Japan, I imagine the 3DS is still very big. I mean, I know the Switch is now like kind of taking over everywhere, but it's definitely, I think the 3DS is probably a bigger thing in Japan still, while America it's being phased out. It makes sense to me that Square Enix wouldn't want to put all the reresources into if this was like a Nintendo game or something and there was a 3DS version, I think they would probably put it but
what kind of sucks though is this is at least a somewhat different game. I think I saw someone say like 20 plus exclusive dungeons to the 3DS version.
That's weird.
Because it's like more pixel art or more 3D. It's not like a port or anything.
Are there exclusive things to the other version?
I think there might be. I guess technically this stuff they're adding on. Yeah. Also, apparently, I might be wrong on this because I haven't been following this game too much. Partly because it made me sad because we had no idea when this was coming out. But the way people sounded, you made it sound like there was no like spoken dialogue or no voice acting in the Japanese version.
On either of them, on the 3DS or the regular?
That's what it made it sound like. So, and they're adding English voice acting.
That's strange.
I might be wrong on that. People just might have been just happy we're getting English in general.
Yeah.
But the way they made it sound, might be wrong on that. But I am pleased we're getting English voice acting, and they post some footage, and when it's all doesn't sound bad. Nope. Not the greatest, but
I mean, JRPG. Is this day one?
Oh yeah. What kind of sucks is even
just drop everything in your life and immediately play it.
Yeah. I have to play another game before then anyway, but this obviously means no Tomb Raider.
Dang.
Well, also kind of sucks. I mean, there's a 2-month period. It's 2 months after Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
Those really long JRPGs.
Good chance I won't be done with that either. I just don't finish games anymore unless they're small indie under 10 hour games.
So kind of for me, my year as far as my big games are, my map for the year for big games are planning out. God of War,
starting to fill in.
Then Dragon Quest, I imagine Spider-Man will be somewhere around then, unfortunately. Then Kingdom Hearts probably.
It's fine. I'll be with the cool kids playing Tomb Raider, and you can go fight your slimes.
And hopefully Kingdom Hearts in November, December. Believe.
I believe. As we've said many times, I believe.
Yes.
I will make fun of you still, but I do believe.
Yes. Okay. Ready to move on?
And then you turn around and make fun of me for Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's just an endless cycle of making fun of
Nomura games. Problem is, a game we're looking forward to maybe by the same guy.
Yeah, that's bad. We should just not get invested in these things.
Too late. Too late for me. I've seen too much. Okay, moving on. This is like a 2-part thing, but they go together, so just read them both. The first part comes from Joe Scrabbles from IGN. Cyberpunk 2077 will be shown in some capacity at this year's E3 and won't be launching with a multiplayer mode. Speaking at CD Projekt's financial results conference, company president Adam Kaczynski was asked about what could be shown at the LA Game Conference, and he replied, "We haven't announced that yet. We will announce it just before. While there's a chance that the announcement could be we aren't showing anything at E3, it seems likely that we'll see a glimpse of the elusive RPG this June." This next part comes from Brian Barnett from IGN. CD Projekt Red is opening a new studio in Wrocław, let's call that Poland, to aid in...
Wrocław.
Yeah.
Poland has cool names for cities, like Warsaw, Wrocław.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Indeed. Okay, yeah. Open a new studio in Wrocław, Poland, to aid in the development of upcoming title Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red announced the new Wrocław studio is made up of 18 veteran game developers and largely comprised of former members of Wrocław-based developer Strange New Things, which in turn was created by former Techland and IO Interactive developers. The Wrocław studio will join CD Projekt Red Warsaw and Krakow, whatever, to help bring the futuristic RPG to life.
Yes.
So things moving along for Cyberpunk.
Yep. I'm as we start to hear more about. I mean, obviously we haven't really seen anything or heard more details, but just as we're ramping up and it seems like Cyberpunk 2077 is more of an actual thing, I'm actually getting pretty excited to see it just because of how amazing The Witcher is, and I'm pretty stoked to see just how they make this world, what they do with it.
I just looked for I thought so, but I just wanted to remind myself, Witcher 3 came out May 2015, I know a DLC, so it's like, okay, even if it comes out late next year, that's a good time to start getting the ball rolling. Especially this is a big, it's a big game.
I do think wasn't there something a few weeks ago where we heard something about that it might not be coming as soon as we thought. I think there was some. I think it's at least I think it's almost confirmed it's 2019 at least. There's no way, shape, or form it's and it's probably later 2019. I think it's fine.
That's what I would bet on.
Yeah. At this point, CD Projekt Red is one of those developers that is just take as much time as you need because it's going to be great.
Yeah. And I mentioned the whole, it won't be launching a multiplayer thing. They kind of go into it later in that article saying they're looking at the things possibly for online things or whatever that means. But yeah.
So do you expect, how meaty do you expect the E3 thing to be for them?
I feel like they don't need much more than like a trailer.
Yeah.
Maybe with a little bit of snippet of gameplay to get people excited.
I think a little gameplay is needed just because of how long we've known this game.
Yeah,
like, I would like to see a little.
And CD Projekt Red is a bit of big as it is now. Is it going to be shown at a conference, or are they just going to release it to the wild?
That's what I was wondering too. Like, I wondered if it would be at Sony or Microsoft.
Yeah.
Or they might be big enough, like you said, to just
plot
kind of
twist.
do
Nintendo's
it.
conference Switch exclusive.
The
internet would kill each other.
Very confused.
It'd burn to the ground.
The internet would just be
It'd be worse than Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, that would make no sense.
I know.
I don't know. I could see it. I mean, they said that we announced it just before. I mean, I could see them just dropping this right before E3 or something, or during E3, or doing something like that. I could see it being that way, and I could also totally see it being at like Sony's conference.
Either way, if it's announced before, I mean, it'll take up a lot of attention at E3. But if it's announced before E3, before most other people do, it'll just soak up all the attention.
Yep. I mean, I think
either way they win.
I'm wondering how big this will be, just because The Witcher, Witcher wasn't even really that big from a commercial standpoint until 3. I mean, like, it was big-ish, but like there were a lot of people that got Witcher 3 without knowing what The Witcher was, myself. So I wonder if people will be aware, like, these are the Witcher people, and I wonder, like, how big Cyberpunk will get, Like, I have a feeling they have to kind of sell the concept more than, like, they're not a household name like Bethesda is at this point when it comes to gaming, even though they should be. Because I think
they meet the promise of this game, like it being bigger than Witcher 3 and all that kind of stuff. They will be.
Yeah, I think they will be too. I think they're very close to being that icon.
They nail this, they will be.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Excited to see what they do. And I guess we're staying with the sci-fi. This comes from Chris Pereira from GameSpot. Electronic Arts is at work on a new open-world Star Wars game, if a newly discovered job opening is any indication. Although the publisher has shared little information about what to expect from the rebooted version of Visceral's game following the studio's closure, we may now have a clue as to what form it will take. The job listing, discovered by GameSpot, was recently published on EA's job site. It's for the position of lead online engineer in Burnaby at EA's Vancouver studio, and it makes no attempt to hide what applicants will be working on. The opening sentence reads, "Lead a team to deliver online feature for our Star Wars open world project." The rest of the listing doesn't share much else, though there are references to the game being multi-platform, which is a little surprise, and a requirement to have experience implementing online features such as matchmaking, asynchronous interactions, live services, server host migration, etc. We've reached out to EA for further details and report back in the unlikely event it has anything to share. It's not the first time we've heard that EA might be working on an open world Star Wars game. A job listing back in 2013 also suggested as much. So, Star Wars Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Whatever, man. I'm just... I have no faith in the EA Star Wars projects anymore.
From what it sounds like, if we're talking about what Visceral project looked like it was going to be the perfect Star Wars game for you. Right.
The Amy hitting, like, narrative driven, like, let's just do a, like, put you in an open world narrative driven Star Wars game. No, that's what I want. That's what so many people wanted. And you're right. This is going to be... I see no way that this is not going to be, like, a Destiny type thing. Some sort of, like, live multiplayer thing. Hopefully, I mean, I guess I hope it ends up being more like Visceral's project. But at that point, like...
It's like they want to get rid of Visceral.
Yeah, at some point, like, maybe there were more problems than just their vision for the game with Visceral. But I don't know. I just don't... I don't even have a whole lot to go off of because, like, we don't know what happened with Visceral. It could have been something completely different. But just from the outside looking in, until they prove otherwise, I'm not getting excited for an EA Star Wars game like this until they prove otherwise. And I think I'm not alone with that. I think a lot of people are.
Well, I mean, after Battlefront 2.
Yeah. And it's... I don't know. Because I don't want... Like, I want... After all this, like, I want a Star Wars game that's different. Like, Battlefield, I mean, like, not that this would probably be different than Battlefront in a lot of ways, but I want...
I said that for the day.
I just did too. So it's their fault for naming it, for them being so similar. I don't know. I just want a different type of Star Wars game, and I'm afraid this is not going to be what it is. But Who knows? This is probably so far away. Maybe things change by then. But
if they're going to change, they're going to probably be for the worse. Probably go more into the online multiplayer stuff.
I mean, again, why wouldn't you? It's your fiduciary duty, right? They make so much money.
You gotta make a good game and slap Star Wars on it to make a lot of money.
Just the worst thing is, why does EA have the exclusive rights? Like, why can't, like, great, EA, you make your Star Wars thing, fine, whatever, but also Bethesda's making a Star Wars game. Like, that would be the much better reality of this. But the fact that whatever EA decides to put out is the only Star Wars thing.
Unfortunately, it just happened too early. It'd be great if Star Wars, like the way that's going around, like what's happening with Marvel games.
Yes, no, that's what I want from Star Wars. That would be the perfect thing. Is like give an Insomniac-like developer and say, like, have fun with the Star. You get to tell your own Star Wars story. It doesn't even have to be canon with anything else. It can just be your own thing. Go.
Doesn't even necessarily have to include all the main characters. In fact, maybe don't include them.
yeah. Maybe like focus on something else. Yes, no, that would be so much better. So much better. But sucks.
You want to move on, Terry?
Yes, I do.
Okay, this comes from Jonathan Dorber from IGN. Hello Games has announced that its open universe space exploration game No Man's Sky will be available for Xbox One this summer. I realized I don't think we ever talked more about sci-fi/space games. Previously only available for PS4 and PC, No Man's Sky will come this summer to Xbox One with Xbox One X HDR and 4K enhancements. 505 Games will be publishing a physical version of the game worldwide. An Xbox One version will come with all previous major updates to the game: Foundation, Pathfinder, Atlas Rises on day one. Additionally, this summer, Hello Games will release No Man's Sky Next, the next major free update to the game. Next will also be available day one for the Xbox One edition. The update is free for all existing players and is, according to Hello Games, the game's biggest update so far.
Kind of random.
Yeah.
For No Man's Sky to have like another release when it came out in 2015, right?
No Man's Sky.
It was either 2015 or 2016. For some reason, I felt like it was 2015. It might have been 2016.
2016 in August.
Okay, it was 2016. I don't know. Like, I guess there's... Obviously, this is one of those, like, the story has been written on this game, and they could completely fix it with these updates, and there's a lot of people, like, they're past it. It's like, no one's going to care anymore. But I guess there is a chance that Xbox players, solely Xbox players, could pick this up with the new updates and be like, what was everyone talking about? This game's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that might be what they're banking on, is just getting a bunch of new people and the game, when the game's complete now. I haven't really seen how much these things are changing or how much the previous updates have actually added to the game. From my perspective, it was just like the core of No Man's Sky was just already kind of boring and lifeless to me to begin with. And it was not marketed that way. Like, obviously that's been done to death. We know how like bad that failed. I don't see this doing too much for it. Honestly, if I was Hello Games, I probably would have just gone ahead and moved on from No Man's Sky at this point. But I don't know.
Yeah, make the money back.
You gonna buy the No Man's Sky Next on your Xbox, Jeff?
Oh yes, obviously. That's what I have my Xbox for.
Yeah, you bought it specifically to get
and the hope that No Man's Sky and Hellblade come to Xbox One.
Yeah.
Hellblade, this is all I have on this. Hellblade will release on Xbox One on April 11th, so like next week, about pretty much. Those who pre-order the game or purchase Hellblade during its first week of release in the Xbox Store will get a 10% discount.
Complete opposite from my No Man's Sky talk. This is awesome. More people get to play Hellblade. Like, I love that.
Yes.
Just in general. Just there's a whole new audience that gets to experience this amazing
Ninja Theory's to bring in more money.
Awesome game. And I think there's Xbox One X enhancements with it too. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
So cool.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
Indeed.
I honestly didn't know if we ever knew what the Hellblade deal was with PlayStation. Like, I didn't really know.
Yeah.
If it was going to end up coming, but I guess we had to have known it wasn't exclusive. So that's cool. I'm very happy for him.
Indeed. So yeah.
And Hellblade's already sold pretty well. So
let's say I'm sure we'll
sell even better.
Now let's say we might be in the coming months talk about more Hellblade sale news. They reach another milestone.
I'm happy for him.
Indeed.
You need to play it.
I do. I have it.
Yes.
Okay, next story comes from Kevin Knezovic from GameSpot. Publisher Titan Comics has adapted some of today's biggest video game franchise in the comics recently, And now another popular series will get the comic treatment in the near future. This time, Titan is partnering with Square Enix to release a comic line based on Life is Strange, which is set to debut later this year. Launching with a 4-part miniseries this year. Titan's Comics Life is Strange returns readers to the setting of Arcadia Bay, offering fans the opportunity to dive back into the story of its beloved characters. The publisher also provided an image of Blackwell Academy, which will presumably serve as an important setting in Life is Strange comic.
Perfect property to do this type of thing with. It's awesome. I feel like Life is Strange and the characters, just the story in general, lends itself to a comic type of thing like this. And especially with, different studio did Before the Storm, I'd be okay if Life is Strange is just something they give to different people and just do your thing with it. Like make a comic, make a, short series, make like this type of thing. I think that's cool. I think it's really cool. I
agree. I'm interested to see what they do with this story. Are they just gonna be a retelling of Life is Strange 1? Is it gonna be something else set in Blackwell Academy or?
Yeah, it could be cool either way, but I kind of hope it's a new story.
Well, it could be potentially cool since it's a Blackwell Academy. I kind of doubt there's gonna be different characters, but let's say maybe each part of this 4-part are about different characters at Blackwell. One's about Victoria and stuff like that.
That could be cool, yeah. What I would expect it's going to tell probably maybe some story that happened during the game that we didn't see or something. Or just
that's kind of what I would usually mean, other people's perspectives.
Right.
Or maybe Jefferson's part of it.
Right, yeah. There's definitely some holes you could do in there.
Which reminds me, we need to play Farewell.
We do, I know. I have it.
Fairly not long.
Have it downloaded so quick and easy. Just haven't done it, but
indeed.
We will talk about it when we do play it.
Yes.
We're just going to be late on it like we are with everything. With all of our Life is Strange spoiler casts we've done.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll do it eventually.
That's our motto.
Nerds at large. We'll do it eventually.
Okay, moving on, Darby. This comes from Philip. How do you pronounce that name?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I was going to... I was excited to hear you try.
Musin?
Miucin.
From IG.
Whatever you think that is.
Yeah.
Musin. I'm so sorry, Philip.
Yeah. Well, I'm pronouncing that wrong, too. Okay.
Can't win.
Nintendo has announced they'll be holding tournaments for both Super Smash Bros. For Switch and Splatoon 2 during its E3 showcase in Los Angeles happening later this year. The Super Smash Bros. Invitational will be held June 11th to 12th in LA, and the Splatoon World Championship will be held on April 21st, although Nintendo has yet to announce an exact venue for either event. The tournament will showcase players from around the globe and will be streamed on YouTube and Twitch. I think some of the information in this might be wrong.
Huh.
I think it has some things mixed up. I think for the Splatoon and Smash Bros. Are going to be June 1st or 11th. One's going to be the 11th, one's going to be the 12th. And the 21st, I think, is the qualifying stuff to get in. And not the championship itself.
The actual championship is during E3.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. I think it's going to be one each day.
Cool.
Now,
cool.
Why are we talking about this necessarily, you ask? Well, because Smash Bros.
Because Smash Bros.
And I didn't think this would be big enough to do a Smash cast on.
Yeah, no. Me and Jeff want to talk about Smash Bros. Any chance we can possibly get. So what do you so I guess the angle I think you're wanting to take is what is going to be announced, right? What are we going to get from the tournament, leading up to it and the tournament happening at E3, and just generally it'll be the first time we've seen Smash, right?
Yes. As far as actual people playing it, we assume anyway.
And I guess that'll be April 21st. Will be the first time we see people in the qualifying things, correct?
Oh no! I think the 21st is just for Splatoon. There's going to be no qualifying. I think the Smash is going to be people the last tournament, the last invitation did people handpicked, and they're going to get to play a game a little before the tournament.
Gotcha. Okay. So, are you expecting new characters, new stages and stuff?
If they're going to do this...
Guaranteed, whether it's a new or port?
By then, we'll definitely know. We'll have to know at that point. And if it's a new Smash, most people are assuming at this point, I think that's the majority opinion at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta at least announce some stuff beforehand, because you gotta imagine if they're doing this, there gotta be at least some new characters in it other than Inkling.
Yeah.
And it's depending how you look at it, depending how they do it, Breath of the Wild Link.
Yeah.
So
do you think they would announce them beforehand and then do the tournament, or do you think there's a chance they would wait until the tournament to reveal the characters?
I feel like they at least got to show something related to gameplay to at least, so people who are in it may not be completely off guard and at least show some stuff.
Right.
Or maybe so they're not a complete blowout at E3. So some other stuff gets alive because there's too much past stuff. That's just all people are going to talk about.
That's true.
It's probably going to be what's going to happen anyway. But
probably. I mean, come on.
But I imagine there might be like a Smash or direct, or a Smash specific direct in like
probably
late April, May.
Yeah, like shortly before, or not
they announce
too
some
long
characters.
Before.
And obviously they're going to announce for E3. But if the last Smash Invitational is anything to go by, those characters may not be in it. Like last time when Palutena, Mii Fighters, and Pac-Man were announced, they weren't in the Invitational, I believe.
Okay.
If I'm getting the date right. Also, something to potentially might go with the whole, well, they may not announce anything to E3 is June. We don't know if it's June 11th or 12th right now. June 12th, which is the Tuesday when Nintendo did their little thing.
Direct
so they could do a blowout there and then show it there, but I imagine they're going to be showing it beforehand.
Yeah, or at least show something beforehand and something there. Like, yeah. How many new characters are you expecting? Just for the E3 PR cycle in general.
Announced at E3? There's been a trend. Like, every E3 Smash is shown.
Okay.
3 characters announced. 1 being a third party. Now, I guess I might be cheating a little bit because the third year was doing DLC and Roy and Lucas were announced, which are technically veterans. We haven't necessarily counted those and then with review announced, but I look at DLC a little different.
Yeah, it was
point is 3 characters are announced
and
that they're one of them being third party.
Oh yeah. You grab the trailer like, oh, it's that guy, oh, it's that guy, and then like the dramatic reveal like Mega Man was when he was at the top of the mountain and
guaranteed as long as there's a new third party character or multiple new third party characters that could be announced at E3.
Yes.
I mean, that's a guarantee.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
And obviously, we'll talk about Smash a lot more when stuff is announced.
And we're going to enter the tournament, right?
Yeah. Before I'm out of skills. Reggie, please.
Please let me go get my butt whooped.
Yes, please. Well, it's a Nintendo Sanctuary tournament, so there might be items on them. I might have a chance.
Yeah, Jeff, you can do it. You can do it. You're playing against like pro players who are like the best in the world, but you throw that little thing out that picks you up and carries you off the stage.
Give me a couple Pokeballs, I'm good. Okay, Dar, you ready for our returning segment? PS Plus against Xbox Games with Gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we waited, so they're actually at the same time now, right?
We have, but they were both announced this week, I believe.
Okay, good job. Okay.
And I think PlayStation Plus was first. So
no consistency whatsoever.
Yeah. First PlayStation Plus on PS4, Mad Max.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And Trackmania Turbo.
Trackmania Turbo.
I think I heard it's a good game. Okay. It might have a VR thing in it too.
Ah.
So that'd be cool if that was true. PS3 In Space Rebrawl, whatever that is, and Toy Home. I don't think they're even trying with these games anymore.
Just random name generators.
And for the Vita, 99 Vitas.
But
it's a D instead of
V-I-D-A, yes.
And Hubert Rebooted, which I think is also on PS4 and PS3.
Okay. And
for Xbox Games with Gold, we have The Witness, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Disney/Pixar's Cars 2.
Yeah.
They're liking those Pixar games now. And Dead Space 2.
Another good one.
So
this is a good general with both of them. Good week. I have to give it to Xbox for The Witness and Dead Space 2. Yeah. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I mean, like, those are all 3 good ones. Those are all 3 big games.
Maybe Cars 2, the game's better than the movie.
Maybe. I mean, it would, Cars 2 movie is pretty bad, so it wouldn't be that hard. But Mad Max is awesome, too. I'm excited from a PlayStation perspective of, like, Mad Max always interests me, and I heard people say, like it's one of those, like, it's very flawed, but it's a fun game. But it was never going to be something I wanted to pay money for. But, like, if I'm getting it for free, then I'm like, great, it's the perfect PlayStation Plus game. Like,
yes.
PlayStation Plus has been killing it recently. Like, it really does seem like PlayStation kind of like is trying to rectify how much like people didn't really like how the games we were getting before. And this year they've been solid.
We all know they weren't going to be Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank in the same month.
Yeah,
the month after.
No, it wasn't going to be that good. But I mean, this is still solid.
Oh yeah,
it's a game I'm interested in playing. Yeah. So
speaking of Ratchet and Clank, I've seen an increasingly number of people talking about how disappointed they were with the reboot. I don't know where that came from, but
y'all are crazy. Game's fantastic.
Okay, Dory. So last news thing, we got NPDs. Is that time of the month? Well, it was that time last week, but we're doing it now.
Sales time.
Okay, so I'll just go through all the information I have here, and then we'll just talk about it.
Let's do it.
Okay, as usual, we're going to do the top 10 games of the month.
Yeah.
First one, number 1, Monster Hunter World.
To the surprise of no one? Yep. I mean, maybe. It's been out so long, but still, whatever.
I mean, let's be honest. What new game was going to eclipse it in February?
No.
Exactly. Number 2, Call of Duty World War II. Number 3, NBA 2K18. Number 4, Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Hanging on.
Now, that one I'm a little surprised about. I didn't know. I figured that one might drop a fair amount.
Yeah.
But 2 to 4.
Not bad.
So I am happy. Oh, yeah, the DLC's out, so. Yeah.
Broly time.
It's Broly time. It's Power Maximum. Number 5, GTA 5. Number 6, Shadow of the Colossus. Number 7, UFC 3. Oh yeah, I'm just going for something with Shadow of the Colossus to make it look a little better. NPD stuff is based off like revenue and not necessarily sales.
And it was sold for $40.
Yeah, so
that's pretty. Yeah, it's good. That's good.
Yeah,
so,
just to make it look better.
Right.
Number 8, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I've been surprised in general just how much that game seems like it's been selling. It's pretty crazy. And I just thought that was going to be more of kind of a deep in the video game industry. People know about it, but it seems like it's getting a pretty wider audience, which is interesting.
That's good. And number 9, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, just physical sales. And number 10, Super Mario Odyssey, just physical sales.
Still hanging on.
And a couple other just facts off the top 20 list. Bayonetta 2 at 14.
Yeah, for Bayonetta 2, which did not sell well originally. I would love to see how it's comparing to like the Wii U sales. Yeah. Like I would love to see like if it's more like how much more and like
Yeah. And not on the list, Metal Gear Survive. While Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet is at like 18.
So it's not even
in the top 20.
Jeez.
So that game bombed.
That is insane.
And also some stuff about for our console stuff. Sony's PlayStation 4 was the best-selling console in February and remains the best-selling console year to date. So over the past 12 months, best-selling console.
Makes sense.
And over the first 12 months in the market, Nintendo Switch has achieved the highest install base for a console platform in history.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So pretty much Nintendo Switch is the best-selling console in its first year in the U.S.
Yeah, I guess we already knew that was going to be.
Yeah, it's kind of like an official thing. Yeah, by month thing. But now it's official for the first year.
Crazy.
Yes. In the back.
Yeah. So if the Switch even remotely keeps up its pace, it's gonna be big.
And they might be able to keep it up because Smash and they've been increasing rumors that Pokemon could actually be being announced soon.
Really?
There's some stuff I don't know how
now are these Nintendo rumors can get pretty crazy? Are these like seem like legit things?
Potentially, yeah. It can go either way at this point, but it's looking like it could happen. So, just imagine if Smash and Pokemon are released this year.
Then they might hit their 20 million. Their ridiculous 20 million that they're talking about. Yeah. We'll see. I do have to go back for a second. Again, I'm just reiterating. I'm so shocked that Metal Gear Survive didn't even just by Metal Gear name alone crack the top 20.
Yeah.
It just kind of blows my mind. I'm sorry. I just that is insane to me. I didn't expect Metal Gear Survive to really sell that much, but I just thought the name alone would have gotten some copies.
Same thing with Shadow of the Colossus. Its price point hurt as far as getting on this list, but still.
Yeah.
Point stands. It's a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
First month of release.
It's kind of crazy.
Over a Sword Art Online game, where thing came out like a week later.
No, I mean, like, with this, I expect Metal Gear Survive to just kind of die. Especially since it's an online game that, or at least a lot of it is online, where you kind of need people playing it for those games to thrive. It's like, no, this game's probably going to die very quickly, and it's going to be something that years from now we're like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it's not, unless something really changes, it's not going to be the game that has legs or has a giant upswing as far as sales go. Because
wild. And I wish Jacob was here because I want to talk to him about, like, what happens now. What does Konami do with Metal Gear now?
Here's the thing, that they're not really focused on games much anymore, it feels like, so it'll probably just go into obscurity.
But you gotta do something with the Metal Gear name, right? I mean, it's just too big of a name.
Rising 2? I don't know.
I guess.
Rising is actually a game people like, and Konami wouldn't be making it.
Right. That would be something, I suppose.
Yeah. That's best case scenario.
Yeah, that's about all you can hope for Metal Gear fans.
After this, like, even if they did like make a Metal Gear Solid 6, how much would people care?
There would be.
I mean, in our circles, I imagine no one would care, but even people outside of it, I guess.
The game would be dead in the water. It would just be... I don't know. I think best case scenario for Metal Gear fans is they, like, sell the name to someone else or something, but... Or they just let it die. I guess that might be better.
Sell it to Kojima.
I don't even know if Kojima would want it at this point. Like, I think Kojima is a free bird now.
Yeah, but it's also his baby.
Such a weird free bird. He'll buy it and do nothing with it. Just like, I buy it.
Kojima's a weird dude.
I buy it so that you don't ruin it. No, it's fine.
And then he needs to do whatever he wants with it. Like, if he wants to do something with it, he can.
And just buy it and let people do, like, remakes.
Yeah.
Anyway. Crazy.
Oh, Darby, you know what time it is?
It's game time, Jeff.
Game time.
Time for me to probably lose a game. What you got for me this week?
Okay, so you know how last time we did real or fake games?
We did.
We're doing real or fake characters.
Oh, gosh.
This one is one of those things like...
Alright, well, I'm on you about, like, it was some weird other version of, like, I'm going to be thinking. Just because I recognize it doesn't mean it's... It's right.
Okay, the way it's going to work is I'm going to say the character name.
Okay.
And the series it's from. I'm not just going to shout a character and expect you to...
What's up? John!
Nice.
Oh, we spent too much time together. I'm the same. Anyway. Alright, continue.
First one. Rotor the Walrus. From Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh no, of course it's Sonic. Of course.
I could do a whole thing based on Sonic.
This whole thing could be Sonic and I wouldn't get any of them. Please repeat this.
Rotor the Walrus.
Can you spell it? How do you spell rotor? It's an R or W?
R.
Rotor?
Rotor. Rotor.
And is it a walrus? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Rotor the Walrus.
Oh, it so easily could be, but I don't think I've seen a walrus, but I also haven't played half of these games. I'm going to say fake, but I don't feel good.
It's real.
What Sonic game is Rotor the Walrus in?
Okay, so I think it's from like Sonic comics and stuff, but it was also like Sonic Pinball or some shit.
Come on. Come on.
Okay.
BS.
Dr. James Cooper from the Sly Cooper series.
I don't know. There were lots of different ancestors and crap. So there's no telling. Could have been his dad. I don't even know if they ever said what his dad's name was. Dr. James. It's Doctor.
Doctor.
I have no clue. I'm going to say fake.
It is fake.
Okay. Didn't think the Doctor is what... There definitely could be a James Cooper, but...
That's why I put the Doctor. Make you think.
Yeah.
I went with that. It's like... Let's see how much you paid attention to the ancestors.
I knew it wasn't one of the I knew it wasn't one of the main ancestors, but they talk about so many side ones.
Oh no, I was considering like potentially doing the answer theme time. Like, no, it'll be too easy.
Yeah, if it was one of the big ones, I would have known.
Mr. Zircon III from Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, no. I mean, they're Mr. Zircons. It's true. Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, it's...
So the third is wrong?
Yeah. When you say it's true, I was nodding like, yes, they're Mr. Zircons.
Oh, okay.
That is my bad, but it is fake. I made it up. There is a Mr. Zircon, a Ms. Zircon, and a Zircon Jr.
That's lame.
Okay. Elsa from Kingdom Hearts.
Jeff, I don't know Kingdom Hearts. It's fake.
It is fake.
Cool.
It was a trick question. Kind of.
Because
Elsa from Frozen, it's...
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that because I knew Frozen was not in it. I mean, like, I don't know. There's so many bizarre characters in there. There could have been some other Elsa. I mean, they would have had to kill her off to make room for Frozen Elsa anyway. Yeah. They're brutal. Yeah.
Now, if I said Elsa from Frozen, that would have been a dead giveaway.
Yes, it would.
So,
right, how am I doing?
You're 2 for 2.
Okay.
We got 9 that I have here.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Okay. Or, yeah, 2 and 2, yeah. So you gotta get 3 more.
All right.
To win.
I'm ready.
Mallow from Mario.
Some Mario Sunshine character. Sure.
Yes.
Hey.
So Super Mario RPG.
Okay.
It's the little cloud dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try not to be too evil with these.
Okay.
With these, I have to go a little obscure and make sure you're paying attention and make you think so. Luke von Faber from the Tale series.
Luke von Faber?
Faber.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't think you'd be able to make up Luke von Faber.
I was wondering if it would be dumb enough and you were like, oh, that sounds too dumb.
What game
it's
is
from
it?
Abyss.
Okay. It just didn't seem like I would have been impressed.
Kai from Mortal Kombat.
I don't know, like the older Mortal Kombats. I don't know all the different characters. True. It's true.
You win, Darby.
Which Mortal Kombat?
I can't remember.
No.
I should probably put that down, but
I just want to see what it looks like. What? How is it spelled? K-I
or K-A-I.
K-A-I.
I think that was like, that's a very generic Kung Fu sounding name.
It is. Yep, it's a pretty generic looking dude.
Yep.
I mean, he has some cornrows.
Yep. Okay, Darius, so you've won.
Yeah, I did it.
But we got 2 more, so let's do them anyway.
Let's do them.
Inferno Man from Mega Man.
It's a pretty generic name. Nah, whatever. You're expecting me to think it's fake.
You're right.
Yeah.
I had to double check, like, is this real?
it was so generic. I just kind of like thought that you would expect me to say yes, just because it could easily be one. Chunky
Kong from Donkey Kong.
No,
that's real.
It's real. Now I have to see Chunky Kong.
Yes,
this is a big fat. Oh my god! Look at him. Everyone at home, please go look up Chunky Kong. He's hilarious. There's Chunky Kong with the afro. Whatever, I won. What was my final score?
You got 6 of 9.
Okay.
You like that one, Darby?
I'm down with that. I did.
Good.
I did. Mostly because now Chunky Kong is into my life. It's the best. That's the best part of this.
Indeed.
And his tiny little backwards hat. He's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. There's Chunky Kong riding a My Little Pony.
Oh, good.
I mean, on the internet, you could probably find literally anything riding a My Little Pony.
Yes.
So, but yeah. Jeff.
Darby.
Before we get out of here, we have a main topic. Might not be that long of one. We'll just see where it goes.
Wow.
Where it goes. We're talking about E3 already. It's kind of crazy that we're actually like not
too months away,
too terribly far away. It does not feel like a year ago that we were doing all of our
crazy
E3
bets.
Crazy bets in E3. Oh, we need to do our bet thing. We need to prepare for that.
Yeah.
And do all of our E3 coverage that I'm excited to do, but it's a lot of work. But I'm ready for it. But we have started to get like E3 announcements of what's going on where, and it's kind of different this year. Xbox is kind of stepping 1 foot away from E3 this year.
Yeah, they're doing their old kind of fan fest thing, but they're still saying they're connected to E3 and it's just like right next door or something.
Yeah, they're trying to make the wording very much like, but we're still here at E3 because they're trying not to like completely separate from it, but their conference is going to be at a separate location, like the Microsoft
Theater
in LA.
And there will also be their fan fest activity when people can go play games and demos and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
so will they?
Apparently, it's like right there next to where E3 is.
Yeah, but will they still have games on the E3 show floor? Like the main?
Okay, they said they will have something involving Mixer or something. They will have a new booth completely dedicated to Mixer where you can play, stream, and interact with games and catch the latest E3 news live throughout the entire week. So there's all little stuff there, but for the bulk of the stuff, you probably will have to go to
be at their own thing.
So hopefully it's like an easy thing. I imagine E3 you just have wristbands so you can go in and out on that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's an easy transition for people.
Yeah, I mean it's like spreading the people covering it out a little bit more. So I'm sure it will make it slightly harder. But yeah, it's close. But there's also obviously EA Play is doing its own thing. Also, I think there's more people being let. Like obviously last year, right, was the first year that fans could go to. It was either the first or second.
I think
year.
so. Yeah, something like that.
It was either first or second, and there's more tickets available this time. And Nintendo is doing, like we talked about earlier, they're doing a tournament actually at E3. So there's a lot more like fan engagement stuff going on there that's turning E3 potentially slowly more from a just strictly press show to a PAX-ish type thing where like people can come and do this or whatever. So like where do you see E3 heading? Are you worried that like PlayStation is going to be the next one to like jump out of the convention center, and are you afraid that it's slowly going to spread out so much to where it's hard for E3 to be this like centralized thing?
I feel like with Sony, particularly at least the way it has been, I mean, if we just mainly talk, like, I'm just focusing on Sony for a second as an example.
Yeah.
E3 usually goes so well for them, get so much good press, they probably are more likely to stay.
Yeah.
At least at the moment.
And they kind of they have a PSX already. Yeah. They have like their own thing, which they're kind of abandoning recently anyway themselves. But I do feel like, like they kind of, at least recently, like they've kind of owned E3 for a long time. Like they're what everyone talks about a lot of time. I mean, everyone talks about Microsoft and everything else too, but they're definitely the biggest gun there.
Yeah, I know Nintendo's taking some of that mind. I'll give it that mind
share. Yes, I mean, this is going to be interesting E3 because of Nintendo. It's going to definitely make this E3 a lot more interesting. Mm-hmm. And last year's E3. Yeah. But I mean, like, now they, the Switch has like really killed it now, so it's kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. And Microsoft, this does kind of seem like Microsoft just trying to differentiate themselves to get some different share of the thing and to have their own like PSX type event and everything. I don't think that we need to worry about E3 like going away. I think the E3 is still going to be this thing forever like this, but I wouldn't be the most surprised if E3 does slowly become more like Comic-Con and PAX and stuff. I think there's going to be more in the coming years. There's going to be more and more fan engagement and more things for fans to do there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and a lot of like journalists and stuff don't like this because it like takes away their access and everything. But like in the grand scheme of things, I think it's fine. I think it's a fun thing for people to be able to go do. Like it's the biggest event in gaming all year round. And it's like strictly gaming, whereas Comic-Con and PAX and these are, have other things going on. I don't think it's necessarily that bad of a thing.
No, I agree. I mean, here's the thing, though. The press people are getting that stuff for the fans.
Yeah.
If fans are getting more time with it, that's not a bad thing anyway. Though you can argue that there's still a bunch of people not outside that need that press coverage. But at this point, the press coverage is not as big of a deal necessarily because we're seeing it all for ourselves.
Right. And a lot of it was like back in the day, like there were really not many avenues for Sony, Nintendo, Xbox, any of these to communicate like to us. You got your news because like press people went to E3 or whatever, and you saw their things afterwards or you saw it in Game Informer or Nintendo Power, all these other like crazy things that you saw them in. Whereas like, as much as it pains me to say it as someone who's like going into media and going into this stuff, or I might be like in one of these companies, but as a reporter, it does kind of suck. But they're not as needed at this point because you go directly to Nintendo for the Nintendo Directs and stuff with everything that's happening at E3. You go directly to these things, and it's not as relevant to see the IGNs and the other people
and
always
just
have
going to Nintendo real quick. They have their little thing where the treehouse where they show their games playing all day.
Right.
You can, and I mean, make the argument that those are Nintendo people, so now I can say obviously not say bad things or show off the good stuff, but
yeah. I mean, that's not necessarily always a good thing. It's nice to have the journalists who like give impressions of this and stuff and take that down, but it's the reality that we're living in, and that previously those treehouse things we would have only seen it because IGN, the people got to see it. But now like Nintendo's like, here's all these smaller things, and people actually tune in to watch it because people are dialed into these things. And so that's why like I think it will, like, press access is going to get, you can't make it a community thing and still have press have as much access as they've had before. That's just, there's only so much time that can be offered out to it. And even right now, it's like the booths fill up so fast.
We'll have the press people now. They get a couple hours on Tuesday and Thursday to themselves.
Yeah, there's like press time, right? Yeah. I think that's probably the answer for the E3 going forward, is to just have dedicated time for the press, and then have here's the time where anyone can come in.
Yeah, and if we want E3 to keep going, that's probably what they might need to do. Is having that big revenue stream coming in and everything, and even with forward, just the way E3 is right now, unless there's a big change, if like all the companies decide to go in for it, that's one thing, or things steadily get there. But for the foreseeable future, there's no reason for Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and all these companies to completely go away from it. Because everyone else is doing it. That's just the big gaming time. Yeah, you don't want all your competition to get all the eyes on them.
Buzz and stuff.
I mean, even EA, yes, they got away from it, but they still do stuff that week.
Yeah, it's still,
like, to us, it doesn't make a difference whether EA's there or not.
No, it's really only to the people at the center, the press people mostly, who have to go to the different places to us. Yeah, we still watch the EA conference in the same time.
This is me just shouting predictions or whatever for the Microsoft thing. This might actually help like the press people, because then people be in the E3 thing and then the Microsoft thing. So everyone shouldn't be in both. I mean, there should be less people potentially in the E3 thing than since people are going to the Microsoft thing, or they can go to the Microsoft thing and see some like third-party games and obviously the Microsoft exclusives with maybe less people there. So the Microsoft thing might actually help the press people.
Yeah, it could. It definitely. I mean, make it less crowded.
Yeah, potentially, depending how they do tickets, like if it's completely different sets of people.
Right.
But there'll definitely be some crossover.
I'm very interested to see like how that turns out for Microsoft, or how many people show up to that type of thing.
Yeah. I think what helps Microsoft is, as long as like you gotta imagine there be some third party developers showing off Xbox One stuff there. Yeah. Like Anthem.
Which that could just give the third parties more room to breathe and more room, like more floor space. I mean, like more floor space is good for people showing games.
Like
in general,
an example could be Anthem, because EA said they're going to be showing Anthem. They have it at their own booth, or their own place, but they have it technically at E3 with Microsoft.
Oh yeah, like I think we're guaranteed in that Microsoft amphitheater, there's going to be a big Anthem booth. Yeah, pretty much guaranteed. Guaranteed.
And it'll probably be at their press conference.
Yeah, I actually hadn't even really thought about that. Just opening up that amphitheater, since it's right next door basically anyway, and that's a lot more space for games to be shown. I mean, just in general.
And as much as I hate to be that guy, it's not like Microsoft has too many games to really show off.
Yeah.
On their own.
There'll probably be lots of third parties there, I imagine. But especially this also, like, maybe I'm just reading into this weird, but the fact, like, Microsoft, like, going to a whole nother place and having, like, this entire setup and everything, is it like wrong for me to think maybe it's because they have a Halo and they're wanting to have like a big deal, like have this big like sectioned off thing for like, and that's like the big draw to come over here because we have like Halo stuff.
I kind of just thought of like something along those lines when I said they don't have too many games. Like, well, they could announce this, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like if they have like a big announcement like a new Halo, like that could be the draw to come over to like the.
Yeah, that'd probably be a draw, but the more Halo games get announced at this point, like Halo's at a point each time a game now, less and less people are actually going to care.
This could at least be the idea on Microsoft's end. Like, it's yet to be seen how much clout like the Halo name still holds. Yeah.
We're probably about a Halo time.
Probably, it feels like it has to be soon.
Like
I could see that being part of their idea, and they need that first party thing, and that will at least be what they're banking on. Who knows?
Halo 5, 2015. 3 years sounds about right. When Halo 4 came.
Yeah.
2012, so 3 years.
Yeah. Yep. That sounds right. Or at least to be, announced this year and then come out sometime next year. Or or this year. Who knows?
No, I'll say I see it, announce it now, and then just released it this fall, unless they're scared of Red Dead completely.
I mean, I would be, but
not everyone could be scared of Red Dead.
And Call of Duty and everything. But I mean,
that's when Halo normally comes out.
Halo is one of those that could compete with those.
Yeah,
but
plus Games Pass.
Halo has to do something different to stay relevant, though. But I mean, just summarizing in general with E3, I think it is important to keep good press access, but I also don't think that has to be at the expense of the consumer access. It's still nowhere near worth it. It wouldn't be worth it for me to travel really any decently long distance for this show because as a fan, you just do not get enough access to games to make it worth it.
Standard line all day to play, and it'd be 2 15-minute sessions.
Yep, for games they're going to come out at some point. I mean, it's cool. It would be cool just to be at E3, and I understand that, but just for how much it costs and stuff, like if I was,
it costs us a couple $1,000s each.
Yeah, because we come from South Carolina, especially. If I'm gonna spend time and money and like travel to go to a thing as a fan, not as press, I'm just gonna go to Comic-Con. I'm gonna go to PAX. I'm gonna go to one of those. Right. E3 is not at that level yet. I think it kind of will be at some point, but it's not there yet.
We need to look at going to a Comic-Con or something.
It would be fun. Like
we should look into it later.
Me, you, and Will, and then Alex and Olivia, they want to go. We should definitely try.
That reminds me. Remind me to tell Alex, they just announced the 2 main voice actors for Full Metal Alchemist is coming to the Soda City Comic-Con this year.
That's cool. I
got to tell them that.
When is that?
August.
It's August. Yeah. Couldn't remember.
And they're going to have a Full Metal Alchemist panel. So... There's like usually like $10. So
I could go just as a person, not covering it, and just not do anything. Yeah,
we should look into that.
Be cool. Well, Jeff, do you have anything else you want to say? Any last word or something you want to reiterate?
I'm very excited for E3 in general, obviously because Nintendo and Smash and all that kind of stuff. I'm more excited for Microsoft because I actually have an Xbox. Definitely want to use. More excited for Sony just because. I'm usually excited for Sony, and I'm actually happy to see PSVR stuff now.
Yep.
By association, you kind of will too.
Yeah, I will.
I actually have a chance to play that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, this will be the first E3 where I'm not just kind of be like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, the 3 major console things will actually be all in for all their announcing.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of morbidly curious to see what is Bethesda going to do. Because, here's
the interesting thing about Bethesda is, last year they announced stuff, and then all of it's out by now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they've had a track record of doing that, of, announcing things and not too long after. So, they might have something else up their sleeve with this.
No. Oh, wait. I know we've talked about this ad nauseum or whatever, and I don't know their studio situation, but the other thing they'll announce Elder Scrolls 6 not to come out this year, but next fall.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me too much to see something. I mean, but I could even see it literally just being end of conference. Oh wait, one more thing, and then just like the tiniest of trailers, like or a teaser thing with the logo.
Hey, do some
basically.
solid stuff and anything with Elder Scrolls 6.
People are going to lose them. People are going to, people are going to be happy no matter what. I do think like it'll probably be referenced.
Then Smash logo.
I'm down. I'm so down. I'm down. It doesn't matter. There's going to be some reference. And also just because, Bethesda's kind of running out of studios and running out of, things. Like, we were saying, what could it be this year? If they're going to have the announcing something and it's out this year, what could it be? And they've proven from last year, just because they have a conference doesn't mean it's going to be big. It can be a 30-minute small thing, Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw this out there potentially. So they came out in the first half. Maybe they'll announce Doom 2.
I think for sure. I think that's almost guaranteed. That's going to be one of them.
Doom 2, another thing. Elder Scrolls, maybe.
Yep.
Or announce a new big project or something coming out, even if it's next year.
That could be a conference.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That could be it right there.
I think I might be completely wrong. I think the way they announced things made it sound like they're going to scale it down a little bit. I might be completely wrong about that.
Last year felt pretty scaled down, but
for the whole big outside, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. We're going to be talking about E3. It's getting to that time of year, and I'm excited. I
get a lot of announcements like, "Hey, here's something. It's going to be at E3," announcements. This is not going to be at E3.
Right. This is a fun time of year to be into video games, and you're going to hear a lot more about us just talking about what we think is going to happen, getting ready to record stuff about it, and I'm excited. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I gotta come up with an E3 betting thing.
Yeah, come up with it. And I'm taking you down, Will. I got you this year. I'm pointing at the wrong spot. There. Will. Okay? Okay, Will? Okay, Will? Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. We have a lot of fun here. Yep. Everything's great. Jeff.
Darby.
Thank you, sir. Please check. Hopefully soon we'll have the Super Smash Cast up. I know we talked about it last time and then it never happened. I'm sorry.
You're in California.
I'm in California and now I have a lot of schoolwork. We'll see. Hopefully I can get it up soon. But it'll be up eventually, and it'll be up hopefully before we get new Smash news, so it's not completely irrelevant.
Or we get it really quickly and they're relevant, but we get Smash news. Either way, we win.
Yeah, there you go. Win-win. Thanks for watching. Check out our Black Panther spoiler cast. I guess I haven't been here live. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Check out our YouTube channel for all of our future stuff. Let's go get food, Jeff.
Yes, let's get food.
Bye.